Hey Vikings faithful, SKOL Nation, what's good? Buckle up, because we're diving into the latest Minnesota Vikings buzz for 2025, and trust me, there's some serious juice to unpack. From a jaw-dropping story about a Vikings legend getting schooled by a Hall of Famer to training camp updates that'll get your purple blood pumping, this is your one-stop shop for Vikings news. Ready for a wild ride through the gridiron? Let's kick it off with a story that'll make you respect the game even more. Picture this. A rookie lineman, fresh-faced and eager, stepping onto an NFL practice field for the first time, only to get absolutely cooked by a legend. That's exactly what happened to former Vikings offensive lineman Jeremiah Sirles back in 2014, when he faced off against Hall of Fame defensive end Dwight Freeney. This welcome to the NFL moment is pure gold, and it's got us buzzing about the kind of battles our Vikings face to become great. So what went down and why does it still matter to us fans? Let's dive in. Stick with me because we're not just talking history, we've got fresh 2025 Vikings updates, from training camp schedules to breakout players who could shape our season. Will J.J. McCarthy live up to the hype? Can our revamped defense dominate? Drop your thoughts in the comments as we roll through 10 electrifying scenes of Vikings news. Let's get it. SKOL Squad. Man, there's nothing like a story that reminds you how brutal and beautiful the NFL can be. Jeremiah Sirles, who rocked the purple and gold for the Vikings in 2016 and 2017, shared a wild tale on Purple Insider about his rookie year with the San Diego Chargers in 2014. He was up against Dwight Freeney, a pass-rushing wizard with 108 sacks, 7 Pro Bowls, and 3 first-team All-Pro nods. Imagine being a rookie, thinking you've got this, and then Freeney hits you with his signature spin move. It's like trying to guard a tornado. Sirles described it perfectly. I was like, that was awesome, yet terrifying all at the same time. Freeney toyed with him, faking a spin, then bull rushing, then spinning again to catch Sirles' hand with a precise elbow, deadening his arm and breezing past to the quarterback. It was a masterclass in technique, and Sirles was left in awe, saying, I had no way of stopping that. He had me cooked. Have you ever seen a pass rusher just dominate like that? Who's the best you've seen go up against our Vikings? This story isn't just a cool anecdote. It's a reminder of the grit our players need to compete at the highest level. Freeney, even late in his career, was a technician who played me like a fiddle. As Sirles put it, that's the kind of challenge our current Vikings, like our 2025 offensive line, will face. Speaking of which, let's shift gears to some fresh roster moves that could shape our season. Alright, SKOL fans, let's talk about the 2025 training camp, because the vibes are electric. The Vikings dropped their camp schedule, and it's packed with action. 12 practices open to fans, starting July 26th, with rookies and QBs reporting on July 20th. This is our first chance to see J.J. McCarthy sling it in person and watch our new-look roster gel. After a wild offseason, who's ready to pack Egan and cheer on our boys? One big storyline is the offensive line, which got a major boost in the 2025 NFL Draft with Ohio State's Donovan Jackson. This unit's been a weak spot, but with 3 new starters, including Ryan Kelly at center, we're turning a liability into a strength. Kelly, still elite at 32, is a cornerstone, and pairing him with Jackson could give McCarthy the protection he needs. What do you think? Can this O-line hold up against the NFC North's nasty defenses? But it's not just about the big names. Keep an eye on Logan Brown, who was turning heads at the Senior Bowl. This dude's got the size and grit to make an impact. With Josh Myers gone to the Jets, our line's versatility is key, and Sirles' story reminds us how tough it is to block elite rushers. Can our new guys handle the pressure? Let's hear your predictions in the comments. Now, let's get to the defense, because Brian Flores is cooking up something special for 2025. The Real Forno Show broke down how Flores' scheme is evolving, with new wrinkles to keep opponents guessing. After a stellar 2024, our defense is stacked with talent like Byron Murphy Jr. and Isaiah Rodgers. But there's a new name generating buzz: Ambry Thomas. This former third-round pick could be a sleeper hit in our secondary. Thomas, just 25, brings experience and upside, with a resume similar to Rodgers. He's not some undrafted longshot, he's played real snaps and could climb the depth chart. Our secondary's loaded with Murphy, Rogers, Mekhi Blackman, and even Dwight McLaughlin in the mix, but some fans are worried about depth. Flores has a knack for unlocking talent, so do you trust him to make Thomas a star? Drop your take below. The Freeney story ties in here. Elite defenders like Freeney can expose weaknesses, and our secondary needs to be ready for guys like Jared Goff or Jordan Love. If Thomas or undrafted gem Zamea Vaughn, who's been flashing at minicamp, can step up, we might have the best DB group in the division. What's your biggest concern for our defense? Let's talk about it. Offense time, Vikings fans. J.J. McCarthy is the name on everyone's lips, and for good reason. Newsweek says he's set for a major distinction in 2025, likely as our starting QB. Coming off a promising minicamp where his arm strength and bond with Justin Jefferson were turning heads, the kid's got us dreaming of playoffs. But can he handle the pressure of leading this offense? The weapons around him are unreal. Justin Jefferson, the best wideout in the game, is back and ready to torch defenses. Jordan Addison and T.J. Hawkinson add serious firepower, though Addison's facing a possible suspension after a 2023 speeding ticket and a pending DUI case. Then there's Jalen Nailor, who's in a make-or-break year. With rookie Ty Felton also in the mix, our receiving core is stacked. Who's your pick for breakout star? Searle's story about getting schooled by Freeney reminds us that young players like McCarthy and Nailor need to level up fast. The NFL's a different beast, and McCarthy's got to face pass rushers as crafty as Freeney was. Do you think JJ's ready to ball out, or will he need time to adjust? Hit the comments with your hot takes. Let's zoom out for a sec. Our 2025 schedule is shaping up to be wild. We're headed overseas twice this season, with games in London and Ireland. Playing in Dublin's gonna be a first for the Vikings, and you know SKOL Nation's gonna show out across the pond. What's the one road game you're most hyped for? Rumors are swirling about our opener. Could it be a divisional slugfest against the Packers or Lions? Or maybe a Christmas Day home game to light up US Bank Stadium? The NFL schedule drops soon, and I'm dying to see how it shakes out. With our tough NFC North matchups, which game do you think will define our season? Let's hear it. Back to Searle's story, those international games will test our O-line against top-tier defenses. Freeney-level pass rushers are still out there, and our guys need to be ready. If Donovan Jackson and company can protect McCarthy, we could make some noise. What's your bold prediction for our 2025 record? Drop it below. Alright, let's talk fantasy football because Vikings players are going to be gold in 2025. Sports Illustrated says our offense is loaded with draftable stars like Jefferson, Addison, and Hawkinson. But here's a curveball. Aaron Jones might be a fade due to age and injury risks, especially with Jordan Mason stealing goal line touches. Who's your must-have Vikings fantasy pick? On the flip side, Ty Chandler's not a lock for the roster, and Trey Stewart could emerge as our RB3. That's a tough break for Chandler fans, but it shows the depth we're building. Searle's Freeney story reminds us that every snap counts. Whether it's blocking or running, you gotta be elite. Who's your sleeper pick for our backfield? Fantasy aside, our running game's success hinges on that O-line. If they can open lanes like they did in camp drills, we could see Jones or Stewart break out. Are you drafting any Vikings RBs? Or are you all in on our passing attack? Share your fantasy strategy in the comments. Let's get to a spicy rumor. Could Kirk Cousins return to Minnesota in 2025? Yahoo Sports says he's buried on the Falcons' depth chart, and some analysts think a reunion could happen. Cousins led us to some epic moments, but with McCarthy as our future, do we even want him back? What's your take, SKOL Nation? The Searle's Freeney story shows how veterans like Cousins bring experience that young guys lean on. Freeney was 11 years in when he schooled Searles, and Cousins could mentor McCarthy if he returns. But with JJ's arm strength and our stacked offense, I'm leaning toward the young gun. Would you bring Kirk back as a backup or stick with McCarthy? Drop your vote below. This rumor's got me thinking about our QB room's depth. If McCarthy struggles, having a vet like Cousins could be a safety net. But after Freeney-level lessons, I believe JJ's ready to take the reins. What's the one thing McCarthy needs to prove to you this season? Let's talk. We can't ignore the concerns lurking for 2025. Vikings territory says our $61 million cap hole next offseason could limit our moves. Plus, sportsbooks are pegging us at just 8.5 wins, which feels like a slap in the face to SKOL Nation. Are we being slept on? Or are these worries legit? The secondary's another question mark. Despite Flores magic, guys like Jay Ward and Dwight McLaughlin need to prove they can handle big snaps. Searle's story about Freeney's craftiness reminds us that our DBs will face savvy QBs like Aaron Rodgers. Can our young corners hold up? Who's your X-factor on defense? Still, I'm hyped for this squad. With McCarthy's potential and Flores schemes, we could surprise everyone. But we need to stay healthy and avoid cap trouble. What's the one thing that could derail our season? Hit the comments and let's debate. Alright, SKOL Nation, let's wrap this up with a big picture look. The Vikings are building something special for 2025, with a mix of young stars like McCarthy and Felton, veterans like Jefferson and Kelly, and sleepers like Ambry Thomas. After hearing Searle's story, I'm reminded that every player's gotta earn their stripes in this league. Are we ready to make a playoff push? The training camp vibe is electric, and those overseas games are gonna be a blast. But it's on us, the fans, to bring the energy and make US Bank Stadium a fortress. What's the one moment you're most excited to see this season? McCarthy's first TD? Jefferson's next 1,000-yard game? Or something else? Let's hear it. Vikings faithful, this is our year to show the NFL what SKOL's all about. Smash that like button, drop your hottest takes in the comments, and subscribe for more Vikings news. Share this with your fellow fans, and let's get loud for our boys in purple. SKOL Vikings.